How's it going, folks? This is something a wee bit different today. It's a story of how yesterday I almost fell down a hole, and in doing so made one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all time. Makes Howard Carter's discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb look like nothing. You've probably seen this row of old ruined buildings, which is at the end of our laneway here, in my previous videos where I've been working on the motor and griping about the weather and the mud. Anyway, let me take you up round the back of them here and show you where something perilous and exciting happened to me yesterday. This is what the scenario is. As you can see, the ground level is banked right up behind them. This whole area, way up there, behind that bank is a artificial loch. This whole area back in Victorian times was used for lead smelting. And as you can see, it's completely banked up behind these buildings here. What I think happened was when they dug out the loch, because it's a man-made one, that they just basically land-filled all the soil and rubble here to make this bank right up behind these old buildings. And if we come over here a bit and look down behind this one, you can see there's a kind of hollow down there to ground level, and where I'm standing at the minute it's like a banked up wall. And this theme kind of continues along the whole row behind them, behind the buildings. But when you come round this way, down this track, let me just adjust the camera here a wee bit so it's pointing more down. You can see there's a track here that gives them a bit of a wide berth, because next to the one here with the hollow behind it, or the drop, there is, I don't know if this is going to pick up on camera here, but this is the next building along, and you can just kind of see here dark patches. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's like remains of rafters, and yeah, it's been piled over with bits of brush and stuff over the years and overgrown, but you wouldn't want to stand there because you'd probably fall through what was left of some kind of a roof at the back of this building. But people have been walking along this track here, which, as I say, gives it a wide berth, and which I certainly always imagined this track was on flat level ground, kind of past the bit where it might cave in. And that was until yesterday when I was walking along here, and let me just give it a bit of an even wider berth. You can see down there is some wooden planks or wooden boards which I put down there yesterday after I was walking along here, and my foot went right through the ground and went down up to my thigh. Luckily I threw myself flat on the ground, so, pardon me, luckily I threw myself flat on the ground so I didn't fall completely through. But when I looked down the hole that was revealed, I could see that underneath here is actually hollow as well, which is quite frightening, because, as I say, me and lots of other people, neighbours and people who walk through the area, have been using this path up and down here all the time, presuming that it was solid under here and you were all right as long as you didn't go further forward there where you know that there's kind of buildings and collapsing roofs. So what I did yesterday, after extricating myself from the hole, was I put a couple of bits of board over it just to stop anybody else falling down it. But when I tentatively looked over the edge and shone my torch down it, I could see that there was actually quite a bit of depth down there and remains of bits of walls and stuff, and it actually looked like, far from being solid under here, that there was a hollow coming in this direction. So this whole area, it's actually made me think might be hollow underneath, which is quite scary really. So what I'm going to do today, in the interests of science, and also because having read too many Enid Blyton books as a kid, I always have a fascination for secret underground passages and the like, is I've got a selfie stick, I've got a video light somewhere in here. The boy racers are out playing today, I hear. Or the boy biker racers. One of the two. That didn't sound too healthy. Let's stop. Right, what direction do I want this in? That way, right. I think my video light's about to fall to pieces here. So there's my setup for filming. I think we can go longer than this. Is that my full extension? I thought it went longer than that. Story of my life. Is that gonna... You get the message, the idea? So I can lower that down, but first I need to tentatively move these boards out of the way, hopefully without falling through the hole or opening up another hole. Either of those things would be a bit unfortunate for a young lad with so much to give the world. So the hole is just down here, and as I said, coming this way looked hollow as well, which is a bit scary because this path here, we always assumed this was solid, and as long as you stayed away from that area you were okay. But as I found out yesterday, it ain't necessarily so. So I'll put this here for a bit of something dry to lie on and a bit of weight spreading, and we'll see what we can see. I suppose I should take my hat off as well. It'd be terrible if I lost my pride and joy hat down a hole. Right, let's get this baby going. What are we on? Let's go 40 frames a second for slow motionisms. Right, so a bit awkward to do this on the selfie stick, but there's the hole where we're going to investigate. So let's get the video light on. It doesn't seem very bright, but hopefully it will be when it gets in there. And we'll see if we can see anything. Better put the wrist strap on. In case I drop the thing, that would be tragic, wouldn't it? Okay, let's try again. My light on, yep. I might try taping the other light on as well. I've got a reserve light, but I haven't got a clamp to hold it. So maybe if I put both on and get a bit more juice in there. With every second that passes though, I'm increasing the likelihood of plummeting to untimely death. You do these things for internet points, haven't you? Should partially increase my light capacity. Right, make sure you're recording still, Spot, before you venture down again. See how we get on this time. Oh yeah, we've got longer reach anyway. Off we go again. Other light's very wobbly. Here we go. Take two. Take three, in fact. Right, let's start as we did before, with towards the back of the buildings. So that way. And then we'll turn to the right. So this way. And there's a bit of a passage type affair going on there. I don't know if this is going to pick up anything looking in there. And then I'm going to come this way, which is back towards me. And this is the scary bit, because this is what I'm lying on top of. So I can't see, I can tell there's a hollow under here, but I can't see how far back it goes. But I'm basically lying over a drop on God knows what. Then I'm going to turn this way, and I think there's a wall there I saw before. Don't know if there's any gaps in it. Back towards that way again. Just pause things here a wee sec, because looking at the footage I realised that there's no sense of scale with this, so you can't tell how high these tunnels are, how wide or anything, or how deep a drop it was. And I'm lying on the grass up top there, going on about falling to my death or breaking my neck for internet points, and it looks like it could be about a foot high. I dropped the tape measure down, and it's actually from ground level at the top to the bottom of the passage here, it's 160 centimetres. So yeah, you probably wouldn't die if you fell down it, but you could at least break a leg or an ankle, so it wouldn't be fun anyway. Okay, I'll now return you to your scheduled viewing. And I don't know what's to be seen in here, if anything. This is the passage to the right. There's definitely some kind of stream going down here. Don't know if it's an official one, but I can see running water. So back towards the back again. And this is what I'm lying on. And that is well dodgy, I think. Here's my disembodied voice from the future, trying to put a wee full stop on the end of this lot. When I got the footage off the cameras and put it on the laptop so I could actually see it on a decent sized screen, it was obvious that what was going on under my feet or under my belly here was a bit more extensive than I initially thought. I initially thought that I'd nearly fallen down just kind of a ditch behind one of these buildings, or, you know, a drainage channel or something. But when I looked at the footage, you can see there's a lot more structure, for want of a better word, going on here. So I went on the National Library of Scotland website, where they've got this kind of time travel-y map thing where you can load a map in and then go back in time and see earlier versions of maps of that area. Down here is where we were, looking down that hole. So if we zoom back in time here, you can see that back in the 1800s, I'm not sure of the exact date of this map, there was actually a hell of a lot going on around here. There was more buildings than I knew. I thought that these ruins about here were pretty much the extent of it, and all the rest was just, you know, landfill. But it looks like there was actually quite a complex going on here with a load of buildings. And this led me to start thinking about what I might have stumbled into here. And let's take a detour. We'll come back to the point. Up on the hill on Stublick Moor, which is about a mile or two away, there is this big chimney, and this is called Stublick Chimney, and this was where they pumped all the noxious chemicals from the lead smelting into the atmosphere. Greta wasn't around in them days. Excuse the crappy photograph of mine from a while back. And what they had was, this was kind of the main output, as I understand it, from all the lead smelting in the area. And they had various underground tunnels going from around the countryside to this flue. And this whole area of the flue and the tunnels leading to it is actually classified as a national monument by Heritage England. And here's a map from them which shows all the red shaded bit is classified as a national monument. I'm not exactly sure what the distinction between that and a listed building is, but anyway, that's what it is. And if I zoom back, there is a red band, which I'm assuming represents some of these underground tunnels going from here right up to the flue on the hill about a mile or two away. So what I'm thinking I might have actually discovered here by nearly falling into it is one of these tunnels that leads from here way up through the countryside up onto the hill and would have belched out that chimney. Not entirely sure, but it's interesting if it's true. If it's not, it's still pretty interesting because there's stuff going on underground here that I had absolutely no idea about. So there you go. I'll put links to various sources of info about all this in the description, and you can check it out for yourself if you're interested in Victorian industrial history and that kind of thing. But in the meantime, cheers for watching, and I'll catch you next time.